Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Today, we will discuss about organizational structure. So, my name is DIMPLE OCOY. Okay, let's start. So, what are mechanistic versus organic organization structure? So, first, an organizational structure is the system for accomplishing and connecting the activities that occur within a work organization. So, ang mga tao ay umaasa sa mga instruktura upang malaman kung anong trabaho ang dapat gawin, kung paano sinusuportahan o umaasa ang trabaho sa ibang mga empleyado, at kung paano natutupad ng mga aktibidad sa trabaho na ito ang layunin ng mismong organisasyon. So, second is organizational design. So, organizational design is the process of setting up organizational structure to address the needs of an organization and account for the complexity involved in accomplishing business objective. So ito ang mga pangunguna ng pag-set up ng mga instruktura ng organisasyon upang matugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng isang organisasyon at isaalang-alang ang pagiging komplikado na kasangkot sa pagtupad ng mga layunin ng negosyo. The next is organizational change refers to the constant shift that occur within an organizational system. So for example, habang pumapasok o umaalis ang mga tao sa organisasyon, ay nababago ang mga kondisyon ng merkado. Nagbabago ang mga pinagmulan ng supply o ipinapasok ang mga adaptasyon sa mga proseso para mabuo kung paano nangyari ang mga pagbabagong ito sa paglipas ng panahon. Finally, organizational development is the label for a field that specializes in change management. So, gumagamit ang OD specialist sa agham panlipunan upang gabayan ang mga proseso ng pagbabago na sabay-sabay na tumutulong sa isang negosyo na makamit ang mga layunin nito habang bumubuo ng kagalingan para sa lipunan. And pag-unawa sa mga kasanayan sa OD ay mahalaga para sa mga leader na gustong i-maximize ang potensyal sa kanilang mga organisasyon para sa loob ng mahabang panahon. Understand the rule of organizational structure. Consider the experience of Justin, a young manager who worked for a logistic and transportation company. His success at leading change in the United States gave his leaders the confidence that he could handle a challenging assignment. Organize a new supply chain and distribution system for a company in Northern Europe. Almost overnight, Justin was responsible for hiring competent people, forming them into a coherent organization, training them, and establishing the needed infrastructure for sustained success in the new market. One of the first issues Justin will need to address deals with how he will organize the system he will manage. The decision about the structure of an organization are all related to the concept of organizational design. There are two fundamental forms of structure to remember when designing an organization. To address these questions, we need to be familiar with two fundamental ways of building an organization.
The next topic is two fundamental ways of building an organization. The first one is formal organization. Formal organization is an officially defined set of relationship, responsibility, and connection that exists across an organization. Ug moingon tag formal organization kay naka-officially define siya sa relationship, responsibilities, and connection that exists across an organization. As you can see, this is the traditional organization chart. Illustrate perhaps the most common way of depicting the informal organization. The typical organization has hierarchical form with clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Makita nato diha ang CEO, VP Development, VP Operation, VP Sales, Team Lead, Admin, Salesperson, and developers. The formal system describes how flow of information and resources should occur within an organization. The formal system daw kay gi-describe nila kung unsay angay buhaton para makakuha sila impormasyon sa loob ng isang organisasyon. When Justin sets up his formal organization, he will need to design the administrative responsibilities and communication structure that should function within an organizational system. To establish the formal organization, he will identify the essential function that need to be part of the system, and he will hire people to fill this function. He will then need to help employees learn their function and how this function should relate to one another. To establish the formal organization daw is kailangan niya mag-identify the essential function that need to be part of the system. O kailangan daw niya mag-hire og tao para sa mga functions. O kailangan daw niya tabangan iyang mga employees para makabalo kung unsay angay buhaton ana nga ilang trabaho. And the second one is informal organization. Informal organization is sometimes referred to as the invisible network of interpersonal relationship that shape how people actually connect with one another to carry out their activities. The chart you see in this example is called a network map because it depicts the relationship that exists between different members of a system. Some members are more central than others, and the strength of relationship may vary between any two pairs or groups of individuals. These relationships are constantly in flux. As people interact with the new individuals, current relationships evolve, and the organization itself change over time. The informal organization can also be mapped, but it is usually very different than the formal organization. Ang informal organization daw ay pwedeng i-map, pero ibang-iba sa formal na organization. The informal organization in Justin design will form as people begin interacting with one another to accomplish their work. The informal organization in Justin design daw kay maporma ra siya habang ang mga tao ay nagsisimulang makipag-ugnayan sa isa't isa upang magawa ang kanilang gawain.
So the next topic is types of formal organizational structures. Bureaucracy, specialization, command and control, span of control, centralization, formalization. So first is, what is bureaucracy? Bureaucracy is one of the most common frameworks for thinking about these issues. Is called the bureaucratic model. It was developed by Max Weber, a 19th century sociologist. Ang bureaucracy daw isa pinaka-common nga framework sa magnoon ani nga mga issue mo nang ginatawag nga bureaucratic model. Mong ginatawag siya nga bureaucratic model. Na-develop ni siya ni Max Weber kadtong 19th century sociologist. Weber's central assumption was the organization will find efficiencies when they divide the duties of labor, allow people to specialize, and create structure for coordinating their differentiated efforts, usually within a hierarchy of responsibility. He proposed 5 elements of bureaucracy that serve as a foundation for determining an appropriate structure: specialization, command control, span of control, centralization, and formalization. So mao ni siya mga element nga gihimo niya o nag-propose niya o nahimo niya sa bureaucratic nga mo serve sa foundation o mo determine og appropriate sa structure. So the next topic is specialization. So what is specialization? Specialization is the degree to which people are organized into subunits according to their expertise is referred to as specialization. So, ang specialization daw, mo ni siya ang mga tao nga mo-organize sa subunits according sa ilang mga expertise, ma-referred to as specialization. For example, human resources, finance, and marketing or manufacturing. It may also include specialization within those functions. People who work in a manufacturing facility will be well served in every part of a manufacturing process, or they may be organized into specialty units that focus on different parts of the manufacturing process, such as procurement, material assembly, quality control. The next is command and control. What is command and control? Command and control is the next element to consider as a reporting and oversight structure of the organization. Command control refers to have the way in which people report to one another or connect to coordinate their efforts in accomplishing the work of the organization narrower. So the next is span of control. Span of control is another questions addresses the scope of their work that any person in organization will be accountable for, referred to as span control. Example, top-level leaders are usually responsible for all the work of their subordinates. Mid-level leaders are responsible for a set of responsibilities, and ground-level employees are usually perform very specific tasks. Each manager in hierarchy works within a span of control of one another manager at level of the organization. The next is centralization. So what is centralization? Centralization is the next element to consider is how to manage the flows of resource and information in an organization or its centralization. Centralization is a highly organized concentrated resource in only one or very few locations, or only a few individuals are authorized to make decisions about the use of resource. A diffuse organization distribute resources for more broadly throughout an organizational system, along with the authority to make decisions about how to use those resources. The next is formalization. So what is formalization? The last one. The last element of bureaucracy. Formalization refers to the degree of definition in the rules that exist throughout an organization. Organization is a highly formalized system, has a very defined organization, a tightly structured system in which all of the jobs, responsibilities, and accountability structures are very clearly understood. In contrast, a loosely structured system relies heavily on the emergent relationship of the informal organization.
Mechanistic and organic structures. Using the principles of bureaucracy outlined above, managers like Justin have experimented with many different structures as way to shape the formal organization and potentially to capture some of the advantages of the informal organization. So makita nato diri as a table ang elements of organizational structure and the relationship to mechanistic and organic forms. So ang mechanistic mao ni siya ang ginatawag nga formal organization, while ang organic structures mao ni siya ang ginatawag nga informal organization. So makita po nato diri ang differences and advantages between formal and informal organization. So, ang standard decision sa mechanistic is highly formalized siya, while ang organic is low or informalized. Ang specialization sa mechanistic is high or narrow. Ang organic is low or broad. Ang centralization sa mechanistic is centralized. Ang organic is decentralized. Ang departmentalization sa mechanistic is functional, while ang organic is divisional. Mechanistic structures are those that resemble a bureaucracy. These structures are highly formalized and centralized. Communication tends to follow formal channels, and employees are given specific job descriptions delineating their roles and responsibilities. Mechanistic structures or formal organization, for example, ano niya is big companies. So, kay big companies man siya, dapat nakafollow sila sa formal channels of communication. For example, CEO. Ang CEO na si VP Development, ang
CEO naapod siya VP Operations, naapod siya VP Sales. So ang ubos sa VP Development na siya Team Leader, ang ubos pud sa VP Operations na siya Admin, ang VP Sales na siya Salesperson, then ang Team Leader na siya mga Developers. So nakahanay ang ilahang pag-communicate sa matag usa. Din ang mga employees naka-specific pud ang ilahang mga trabahoon kung unsay gihatag sa ilaha. While ang organic structures or informal organization, mauni sila ang mga employees nga wala naka-specific ang ilahang trabahoon or na all around sila nga mo trabaho. Kay no layers of management man siya. The principles of bureaucracy outlined earlier can be applied in different ways, depending on the context of the organization and the manager's objectives, to create structures that have features of either mechanistic or organic structures. For example, ano niya ang organisasyon nga nanginahanglan og kalambuan o kabag-uhan sa iyang company, matawag siya nga organic structures. While ang organisasyon nga nanginahanglan og kasaligan sa iyang companies, matawag ni siya nga mechanistic structures kay formal organization man siya. The span of control assigned to any specific manager is commonly used to encourage either mechanistic or organic bureaucracy. So, ang span of control o time sa pagkontrol mao ni siyang kinadalasan ginagamit nga makahatag pud or makatabang sa usa ka organisasyon mechanistic man or organic structures. When a bureaucratic structure works well, an organization achieves an appropriate balance across all of these considerations. Employees specialize in and become highly advanced in their ability to perform specific functions while also attending to broader organizational needs. They receive sufficient guidance from managers to stay aligned with overall organizational goals. The span of control giving to anyone managers encourages them to provide appropriate oversight while also relying on employees to do their part. The resources and decision-making necessary to accomplish the goals of the organization are efficiently managed. There is an appropriate balance between compliance with formal policy and innovative actions. So, kung ang bureaucratic structure maglihok siya nga maayo, ang usa ka organisasyon makakabuot sa usa ka angay nga balansi sa tanan.
Functional structures. A functional structure is designed to address these organization needs. A functional structure is a business structure that is based on the function of each position within the business and the knowledge and skills of the team members that perform each role. Functional structure is suitable for organization which an ongoing operation such as manufacturing and production. In functional organization is divided into very specific departments like human resource, marketing, finance, and operation. Functional structure, the organization is divided into different functional work activities or departments. In other words, it is divided according to what people do. A level top manager usually oversees the work carried out by employees in each functional area. In functional structure, the employee is applied to be more skills and the respective department is leading greater work efficiency. There are three common examples of functional structures.
So, product structure exists where the business organizes its employees according to product lines to lines of business. What are product structures? So, product structures are financial instruments whose performance or value is linked to that of underlying asset, product, or index. This may include market indices and commodities, basket of stocks, bonds and commodities, currencies, interest rates, or a mix of these. For example, Employees in a car company might be organized according to model of the vehicle that they help support or produce. Employees in a consulting firm might be organized around a particular kind of practice that they work in or assess. Employees become highly attuned to their own line of business or their own products.
Geographic structures exist where organizations are set up to deliver a range of products within a geographic area or region. Here, the business is set up based on a territory or region. Ang geographic structures nag-exist siya kung asa nakaset up ang mga organisasyon to deliver a range of products sa loob ng isang geograpikong lugar o rehiyon. In either functional structure, the manager will oversee all the activities that correspond to that function. Pasabot kay, sa alinmang functional na istruktura, ang manager ay mangangasiwa sa lahat ng mga aktibidad na tumutugma sa function na ito, like marketing, manufacturing, delivery, client support system, and so forth. One common weakness of bureaucratic structure is that people can become so focused on their own part of the organization that they fail to understand or connect with broader organization activities. In the extreme, bureaucracy separates and alienates workers from one another. These problems can occur when different parts of organization to fail to communicate effectively with one another. Pasabot kay, ang isang karaniwang kahinaan ng bureaucratic structure ay ang mga tao ay maaring sobrang nakatutok sa kanilang sariling bahagi ng organisasyon na sila ay nahulog upang maunawaan o komunikta sa mas malawak na mga aktibidad ng organisasyon sa sukdulan. Ang burokrasya ay naghiwalay at naglalayo ng mga manggagawa sa isa't isa. Ang mga problemang ito ay maaaring mangyari kapag ang iba't ibang bahagi ng isang organisasyon ay nabigay makipag-upunan ng epektibo sa isa't isa.
Matrix structure describes an organization that has multiple reporting lines of authority. For example, an employee who specializes in a particular product might have both the financial reporting line and a geographic reporting line. This employee has accountability in both directions, both financial structure and geographic structure. Here in matrix structure, the financial responsibility has to do with her specialty as it correlates with the strategy of the company, while the geographic responsibility is to manage who is responsible for the region or part of the organization. The challenge of matrix structure is that an employee may be accountable to two or more managers, while the potential benefit is that employees may be more inclined to pay attention to the needs of multiple parts of the business.